The Philippines is a country rich in culture, traditions, and natural beauty. But have you ever wondered about its origins and how it came to be? The history of the Philippines is a fascinating tale of diverse influences, struggles, and triumphs that have shaped the country into what it is today. From ancient civilizations to colonial rule, independence movements to modern-day developments, the history of the Philippines is a continuous story of evolution and resilience. In this video, we will take a deep dive into the origin and history of the Philippines, unearthing the mysteries and shedding light on the significant events and individuals that have shaped this beautiful nation. Get ready to discover the captivating journey of the history of the Philippines. The prehistoric foundations of the Filipino archipelago. The early history of the Philippines can be traced back to the prehistoric times when it was inhabited by Negritos, some of the archipelago's earliest known inhabitants. These small-statured hunter-gatherers are believed to have migrated to the Philippines over land bridges that existed during the Ice Age, approximately 30,000 years ago. As time progressed, waves of Austronesian peoples, skilled in seafaring, arrived from Taiwan around 3000 BC. They brought with them innovations such as outrigger boats, agriculture, and pottery, marking the beginning of a new era in the Philippine archipelago. These early settlers formed the base of the social structure and cultivated the land, establishing the agricultural practices that would sustain future generations. Their migration led to the dispersal and development of various languages and dialects that are still spoken in the Philippines today. The interactions among these early communities laid down the prehistoric foundations of what would become a diverse and complex society, setting the stage for the rich tapestry of Philippine history that was to unfold. The flourishing of barangay societies. As the Austronesian peoples settled across the archipelago, they gave rise to the barangay societies, small autonomous communities named after the barangay, a large boat that carried them to the islands. Each barangay was led by a chieftain known as a datu, who governed his people with the assistance of a council of elders. These communities were largely egalitarian, with social status determined more by a person's achievements and the respect of their peers rather than by birthright. The barangays were self-sufficient units, engaged in fishing, farming, and sometimes trading with neighbouring communities. They practiced a system of communal farming and shared resources, which strengthened community bonds and fostered a culture of cooperation and mutual support. With time, the barangays developed complex social structures and established trade networks both within the archipelago and with traders from across Southeast Asia, China, and even India. This period saw the growth of rich cultural traditions, including the weaving of intricate textiles, the crafting of fine pottery, and the performance of elaborate rituals and ceremonies that expressed the community's beliefs, values, and social ties. The flourishing of barangay societies laid the foundational elements of Filipino culture and community life, deeply influencing the social, political, and economic fabric of the Philippines long before the arrival of European colonizers. The Age of Commerce and Islam. In the 13th century, the Philippines entered a significant era marked by the expansion of trade and the introduction of Islam. The strategic location of the archipelago made it a vital link in the regional trade network, connecting the islands with the larger economic systems of Asia. This period saw an increase in commerce with traders from China, India, and the Islamic world bringing goods such as silk, spices, and ceramics to the islands. In turn, local products like gold, pearls, and beeswax were exchanged, enriching the local economy and integrating the Philippines into the international trade network. The arrival of Muslim traders and missionaries from the Malay archipelago heralded the spread of Islam, particularly in the southern Philippines. By the 14th century, Islam had established itself as a major religious and cultural force, leading to the formation of several sultanates, notably the Sultanate of Sulu and the Sultanate of Maguindanao. These Islamic states played a crucial role in the political and social landscape of the Philippines, fostering a sense of unity and identity among the Muslim communities. The introduction of Islam also brought new political concepts, legal systems, and administrative structures, which further influenced the societal fabric of the Philippine archipelago during this transformative period. The Spanish era, colonization and Christianization. In 1521, the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer leading a Spanish expedition, marked the beginning of over 3 centuries of Spanish colonization in the Philippines. This era significantly transformed the cultural, political, and social landscape of the archipelago. The Spanish introduced Christianity, making the Philippines the only predominantly Christian nation in Asia. They vigorously pursued the conversion of the indigenous population, establishing churches and missions across the islands. The Manila-Acapulco galleon trade further integrated the Philippines into the global economy, connecting Asia with the Americas. However, Spanish rule was also characterized by the imposition of the encomienda system, which granted colonizers the right to extract tribute and labor from the indigenous peoples, leading to exploitation and abuses. The Spanish era reshaped the local governance structure, replacing the autonomous barangay societies with a centralized government headed by Spanish officials and Filipino nobles loyal to Spain. Education and literacy were expanded, primarily to teach Christian doctrine, which inadvertently fostered a new class of educated Filipinos, the ilustrados. This group would later play a crucial role in the movement for independence. Despite the Spanish attempts to solidify their control, their period in the Philippines was also marked by numerous revolts by the native population who resisted the colonizers' demands and attempted to preserve their own culture and beliefs. The Philippine Revolution and the fight for independence. The Philippine Revolution, which began in 1896, was the culmination of years of unrest and desire for independence from Spanish rule. Catalyzed by the execution of Filipino nationalist and reform advocate José Rizal, the revolution saw various factions across the archipelago unite under the leadership of Katipunan, a secret society founded by Andrés Bonifacio. The Katipunan's initial goal was Filipino independence through a national uprising. Armed confrontations between Filipino revolutionaries and Spanish forces marked the revolution's progress, with significant battles shaping the struggle for freedom. Emilio Aguinaldo emerged as a prominent leader, eventually taking over the revolutionary government. The revolution's turning point came with the declaration of Philippine independence on June 12, 1898, in Kawit, Cavite, although full sovereignty was not immediately realized due to subsequent events. The revolution laid the groundwork for the first Asian republic in modern times, challenging colonial rule and igniting a flame of nationalism that would inspire future generations in their continuous quest for genuine independence and self-determination. American occupation and the path to self-governance. Following the Spanish-American War, the Treaty of Paris in 1898 ceded the Philippines to the United States, marking the beginning of American occupation. This period introduced significant changes, including the establishment of a public education system, improvements in infrastructure, and the introduction of democratic principles. The Filipino-American War ensued as Filipinos fought for independence, leading to a brutal conflict. Gradually, the US implemented policies promoting self-governance, culminating in the Tydings-McDuffie Act of 1934, which laid the groundwork for Philippine independence after a 10-year transitional period. This era set the stage for the evolution of Philippine political and social structures towards self-rule. World War II and the Japanese occupation. During World War II, the Philippines experienced a tumultuous period under Japanese occupation. From 1942 to 1945, the Japanese imposed military control over the islands, subjecting Filipinos to harsh conditions within their Greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere. This era was characterized by hardship and turmoil as the Filipino people grappled with oppressive rule. Despite these challenges, a strong guerrilla movement emerged, showcasing the resilience and determination of the population. These guerrilla fighters bravely resisted Japanese forces while also providing crucial support to American soldiers. The liberation of the Philippines in 1945, achieved through the combined efforts of American and Filipino forces, marked a pivotal moment in the nation's history, signaling a step closer to eventual independence and freedom from foreign domination. Independence and the birth of the Republic. On July 4, 1946, the Philippines was officially recognized as an independent nation, signifying the culmination of years of struggle and negotiation for sovereignty. This historic event was celebrated as the birth of the Republic of the Philippines. Manuel Rojas became the first president of the new republic, marking a pivotal moment for Filipinos. This transition to independence opened avenues for establishing a democratic government, shaping the nation's own destiny, and rebuilding from the ruins of war. The establishment of the Republic was a significant milestone, embodying the aspirations and resilience of the Filipino people. Martial law and the people power revolution. In 1972, the Philippines faced a defining moment when President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law, citing rising civil disorder and the threat of communist insurgency. This period, which lasted until 1981, was marked by significant curtailments of civil liberties, the suppression of political opposition, and human rights abuses. The press was censored and many critics of the Marcos regime were arrested, including Senator Benigno Aquino Jr., who became a prominent figure in the opposition movement. Despite its official end in 1981, Marcos continued to rule with a heavy hand until his regime was challenged by the People Power Revolution in February 1986. Sparked by the assassination of Aquino upon his return from exile in 1983 and fueled by widespread dissatisfaction with governmental corruption and economic instability, millions of Filipinos gathered in a peaceful protest along EDSA, Metro Manila's main highway. This massive, non-violent demonstration showcased the unity and resolve of the Filipino people, leading to the withdrawal of support from the military and the Marcos family's eventual exile. The People Power Revolution not only ousted a dictator, but also restored democracy to the Philippines, paving the way for Corazon Aquino, the widow of Benigno Aquino, to become the first female president in Asia. This pivotal moment in Philippine history demonstrated the power of collective action and peaceful protest in shaping the nation's future. The Philippines in the 21st century. Entering the 21st century, the Philippines has continued to navigate the challenges and opportunities of a rapidly changing world. The nation has witnessed significant economic growth, driven by the services sector, remittances from overseas Filipino workers, and the burgeoning BPO, business process outsourcing industry. This period has also seen the rise of a vibrant middle class and improvements in infrastructure and telecommunications, making the Philippines an emerging market in Southeast Asia. However, the country still grapples with issues such as political instability, environmental vulnerability, and social inequality. The Philippines has also played a more prominent role in international affairs, engaging in territorial disputes in the South China Sea and contributing to global discussions on climate change, given its status as one of the countries most affected by natural disasters. Despite these challenges, the Filipino spirit of resilience and adaptability shines through as the nation strives to build a more inclusive and sustainable future. The early decades of the 21st century have thus marked a period of transition and transformation for the Philippines, highlighting its potential to overcome adversity and emerge stronger on the global stage. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey through Philippine history. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful explorations and to stay updated on our upcoming episodes. Until next time, I'm out.